What is up, Breaking Bad fans? Kino here, and we're back with another Breaking Bad log. Today we're looking at the 9th episode of Season 3, Kafkaesque. Now, the episode opens with a commercial from Los Pollos Hermanos. It then fades into Gus's meth operation, which is now booming due to Walt's blue meth. At the lab, Jesse complains about how they're making more than their required quota of meth, which is basically just giving away free money. He's also calculated that Gus is earning $96 million compared to their $3, and feels that's unfair. Which it really isn't, when you factor in that Gus paid for the lab and handles all the distribution charges, and Walt and Jesse face no risk for selling the product themselves. But hey, I'm a bourgeois capitalist after all. Back at the hospital, Hank is woken up from his coma. Gomez comes to see him and tells him that the blue meth has started appearing again, just like Hank predicted. Hank tells him and the others that he received a call warning him about the attack before it happened. Skyler realizes that Walt must have been involved, asking if they're in any danger. Meanwhile, Jesse continues to go to his NA meetings. He complains about his work situation, saying that he works at a laundromat. Interestingly, he describes Walt as his boss, again showing how he views Walt as an authority figure. The NA leader, the same one from the rehab center, describes the situation as Kafkaesque, meaning disorientatingly complex for no reason. The term comes from the work of Franz Kafka, a 20th century German writer whose work often dealt with oppressive themes of the mundane world of bureaucracy. With Hank starting to recover, Marie wants him to begin physical therapy so he can walk again. However, their insurance will not cover the best treatment he needs. Marie says she will get the best physical therapist possible, no matter what it costs. Meanwhile, Saul calls Jesse down to a nail salon, which he wants Jesse to buy. He says that he needs to launder his money before he gets arrested for tax evasion. However, Jesse finds the idea of a criminal spending money on a business in order to pay taxes, well, Kafkaesque. He hates that he is now essentially an employee, whereas before he was the owner. He decides to start selling meth again with Badger and Skinny Pete, and instead of selling on the street, which is dangerous, he decides to target the people in his NA meetings. He has Badger and Skinny Pete pretend to be new people and start talking up the blue meth. He also begins to steal some of the extra meth that they've been producing in order to sell it on his own. Also, I forgot to address this during my original recording, but during one of his NA meetings, Jesse talks about what he would do if he didn't have to worry about money. He says that he would want to do something with his hands, and tells the story of how he took a woodworking class while he was in high school. The point of the story, one, is to highlight Jesse's creativity and his ability to get things done when he puts his mind to it. It's also to remind us of the tragedy of his character, the fact that he sacrificed so much of his potential by using drugs. Meanwhile, Walt meets with Gus at the farm. He says that he knows that the cousins were originally going after him, and that Gus directed them to Hank. He's also aware that Gus is benefiting from the conflict by controlling all the drugs in the Southwest. He says that he would do the same thing, and you can see the subtle concern in Gus's eyes at this prideful declaration from Walt. Walt also says that Gus saved his life, but asks what will happen after their contract is up. Gus extends the offer indefinitely and offers Walt more money, which he accepts. However, as he's driving home, Walt feels the same kind of aggressive energy he felt after confronting Tuco. He floors the gas pedal and closes his eyes, nearly driving into an oncoming truck. Back at the hospital, Marie threatens to go to the media in order to get Hank the treatment he deserves. Out of nowhere, Skyler offers to pay for Hank's medical bills. She spins a story that Walt made a bunch of money through a card counting system, winning money at blackjack. She says that they'll pay for the medical bills, which Marie ends up accepting. Privately, Walt asks her how she came up with that story, and she replies that she learned from the best. She also believes that Walt is the reason Hank is there in the hospital, which she will not forget. The song that plays during the Los Pollos Hermanos commercial is a variation of the Bolivia theme from the film Scarface. There are many connections and parallels between that film and this show, and we'll see more references to it later on. Also, during the commercial, you can see a line at the bottom of the screen saying that Los Pollos Hermanos is owned by Magical Electromotive. It's very interesting that they had this detail worked out so far in advance, as Magical won't make a real appearance until next season. Finally, when Walt is cleaning the tank at the lab, he sees a smudge. The location on his reflection makes it look like the mark of Cain, a biblical curse on Cain for killing his brother. Likewise, Walt is struggling in this episode with the knowledge that he is partially responsible for almost killing his brother-in-law, Hank. And that is pretty much everything I had to say about the episode. I know I didn't have too many behind-the-scenes details to go through this time, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and stay tuned for the next Breaking Bad log coming soon. If you want to stay a patron and not become, say, a commenter, I suggest you grow up and listen to your lawyer. Russell, Sean, Heart of Markness, Logan, Clean, John Reyna, Jesse Sterling, Andrew Stewart, Ops Racing Media, Daz J-Kit, Conan Higgins, Sam Cedarlin, Don Lucania, Celery Man, Jenna Marie Johnson, and Brad Smith Studios.